Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing you an incredible story about Robert Downey Jr. and an unexpected encounter in New Orleans that changed two lives forever. Before we dive in, if you enjoy heartwarming stories about celebrities making real differences in people's lives, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Let's get started. One warm evening, Robert Downey Jr. walked through the narrow cobblestone streets of New Orleans' French Quarter. He had come to the city for a film event, but wanted to escape the cameras and attention. The night air carried the spicy scents of Creole cooking and the distant sounds of jazz. Robert was looking for a quiet place where he could enjoy a simple meal without being recognized as a famous actor. He found a small, hidden restaurant with no flashy signs, just warm light coming through the windows. Inside, the place was cozy and intimate, with wooden tables worn smooth with age, flickering candles, and shelves lined with dusty wine bottles. The restaurant had a comfortable feeling, like stepping into someone's home. Robert chose a corner table away from the entrance, and when the waiter approached, he didn't show any sign of recognizing the actor, exactly what Robert wanted. While waiting for his jambalaya and wine, Robert observed the other guests. Couples leaned close in conversation, friends laughed over shared plates, and a woman scribbled in a notebook. For the first time in weeks, Robert felt himself relax, his mind finally settling. But then something changed the atmosphere completely. A soft voice began filling the room. Robert looked up to see a young girl, no more than 13 years old, standing on a small stage in the corner. She gripped the microphone with both hands, her eyes closed, her expression intense with emotion. When she sang, her voice was hauntingly beautiful, carrying a weight and sadness that seemed impossible for someone so young. The entire restaurant fell silent. Conversation stopped, forks were set down, and everyone turned to listen. Robert felt a chill run down his spine. He had heard many talented performers before, but there was something different about this girl's voice. It felt like a cry for help, raw and desperately honest. When the song ended, the room remained silent for a moment before erupting into sincere applause. The girl opened her eyes and gave a shy smile before stepping down from the stage. She moved carefully between tables with a small donation box in her hands. Robert watched her, unable to shake the feeling that her performance was more than just entertainment. It was a plea. He asked the waiter about her and learned her name was Anna. She wasn't paid to sing. She performed for donations to help pay for her grandfather's surgery. Her grandfather, Giovanni, had once been a respected craftsman who restored historic buildings in New Orleans. But now he was sick and stubbornly refused to accept charity. When Anna reached Robert's table, he could see the exhaustion in her intelligent eyes. She didn't recognize him as a celebrity, just another customer. Robert placed $100 in her donation box, surprising her with his generosity. When he asked about her grandfather, Anna's strong stage presence disappeared, revealing a worried child carrying too much responsibility. "He's doing his best," she said carefully. But Robert understood what she wasn't saying. She was afraid that no matter how much she sang or how much money she raised, it wouldn't be enough to save him. The next morning, Robert visited the address Anna had mentioned, an aging apartment complex on the outskirts of the city. The building wasn't exactly run down, but it showed signs of better days gone by. He knocked on the door of apartment 3B and was met by Giovanni, a thin but dignified man with salt and pepper hair and a face lined with experience. His eyes were suspicious as he studied the stranger at his door. Robert introduced himself as someone who admired Giovanni's restoration work, not mentioning that he'd met Anna. Reluctantly, Giovanni invited him in. The apartment was modest but neat, filled with hand-carved wooden furniture and faded photographs. In one corner stood a workbench with unfinished wooden pieces. Giovanni was still creating despite his illness. Over coffee, Giovanni revealed his frustration that Anna was singing in restaurants instead of enjoying her childhood. "I never wanted this for her," he said, his voice heavy with guilt. He refused to let Anna waste her life trying to save him and firmly stated he wouldn't accept handouts. Robert understood the man's pride and had a different approach in mind. From his bag, he pulled out a small wooden box he claimed to have found in an antique store. As Giovanni examined the craftsmanship, his hands no longer seemed weak. They were the hands of an artist who still had something to offer the world. 2 days later, Robert arranged something special. Without telling Anna or Giovanni too much, he set up a performance at the historic Orpheum Theater, one of the oldest and most beautiful venues in New Orleans. He didn't want publicity or cameras, just one unforgettable night where Anna's talent could truly shine. The theater owner helped fill the seats with music lovers who had heard whispers about a girl with an extraordinary voice. When Anna arrived with Giovanni and saw the grand theater packed with people, she was overwhelmed. "I can't do this," she whispered to Robert, terrified. The theater owner approached and told her the audience had come specifically to hear her sing. Robert reassured her that this night wasn't about raising money, it was about her sharing her gift. "If you don't try," he told her gently, "you might always wonder what could have happened." Meanwhile, Giovanni was running his hands over the theater's wooden details, admiring the restoration work. Robert told him the theater needed someone with real craftsmanship to maintain these historic elements. A genuine job offer rather than charity. Something shifted in the old man's expression as he considered this possibility. As the lights dimmed, Robert sat at the grand piano and began to play a melody that complemented Anna's voice perfectly. At first, Anna sang hesitantly, but as she connected with the music, her voice grew stronger and more powerful, filled with all the emotions she had kept inside for so long. The audience was completely captivated by her performance, and when she finished, they rose to their feet in a thunderous standing ovation. From the side of the stage, Giovanni watched with tears in his eyes. For the first time, he truly heard what his granddaughter could do. He realized that by trying to protect her, he had been holding her back. When Anna ran to him after her performance, he embraced her and whispered, "I'll do the surgery." After fighting alone for so long, Anna could finally breathe again. The theater owner announced that thanks to the community's generosity, they had raised enough money to cover Giovanni's medical expenses. But more importantly, a local music producer offered Anna proper vocal training and future performance opportunities, while Giovanni accepted the restoration work at the theater, work that would give him purpose during his recovery. As Robert prepared to leave New Orleans the next day, he visited Anna and Giovanni one last time. The atmosphere in their apartment had completely changed. There was hope where there had been only worry before. Anna hugged Robert tightly, knowing that he had changed their lives not just by helping with money, but by showing them both how to accept help and believe in themselves again. Robert left quietly, the way he preferred, knowing that sometimes the most important role he could play wasn't on screen but in real life, connecting with people and helping them find their way through difficult times. This unexpected detour in New Orleans had reminded him that the greatest moments in life aren't just about surviving challenges, but about discovering who you truly are meant to be. That's the story of how a simple evening in New Orleans led to a life-changing moment for Anna, Giovanni, and even Robert himself. Sometimes the most meaningful connections happen when we least expect them. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring celebrity stories like this one. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from and which celebrity you'd like to hear about next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with another special story.